Liverpool just sacked their manager. Their greatest ever player just walked out the door. And the man they brought in to fix everything is now standing in front of the most important decision of his entire career. Does he bring Mohamed Salah back? Welcome to the most dramatic summer in Liverpool's recent history. Welcome back to Robert's Football Talk. I'm your host, and if you are new here, subscribe right now because today we are breaking down everything happening at Anfield. The collapse of the Slot era, the arrival of Andoni Iraola, and the Salah question that the entire football world cannot stop talking about. Let's go. Let me set the scene for you first. 1 year ago, Liverpool were Premier League champions. Arne Slot had just delivered the club's 20th English League title in his debut season. Salah had scored 29 goals. The future looked bright. Fast forward 12 months and the picture could not look more different. Slot is gone. Salah is gone. And Liverpool finished the season trophyless, clinging on to 5th place just to secure Champions League football. From champions to nothing in one season. That is not a bad run of form. That is a collapse. And right at the center of that collapse was a relationship that broke down so publicly, so brutally, that it became impossible to ignore. Mohamed Salah and Arne Slot. Two men who could not make it work. And when one of them had to go, the board made their choice. Slot was sacked. And the man Liverpool turned to was someone they had been watching for a very long time. Andoni Iraola. Now before we get into Iraola and what his arrival means for Salah, I want to ask you something. Do you think Liverpool should bring Salah back under the new manager? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments right now. I want to see what the Robert's Football Talk community thinks, because this debate is dividing football fans everywhere. Let's go back to where it all started to fall apart. Liverpool spent enormous money last summer. British record signings. New faces across the squad. The expectation was that Slot would build on that title and push on. Instead, from late September, the season fell apart completely. Results dried up. The performances became listless. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, the relationship between Salah and Slot reached a breaking point that neither man could come back from. Salah had said earlier in the season that his relationship with Slot was non-existent. He accused the club of making him a scapegoat following Liverpool's 3-3 draw at Leeds in December. And then he said the words that shook Anfield to its foundations. I don't know why, but it seems to me that someone doesn't want me at this club. That was December. In public. From the greatest player to ever wear that shirt in the Premier League era. And it tore a gash through the squad that never fully healed. What makes it even more painful is that Salah had signed a new Liverpool contract in April 2025. The club announced that deal would keep him at Anfield beyond the 2024-25 season. So this was not a simple case of a contract running out. This was a man who had just committed to the club, just driven them to the title with 29 goals, and then found himself within months at war with the manager and the press. And then came the post that changed everything. After the defeat to Aston Villa, Salah went on social media and posted what was essentially a manifesto. He wrote that he wanted to see Liverpool go back to being the heavy metal attacking team that opponents fear. Back to being a team that wins trophies. He said that is the football he knows how to play and that is the identity that needs to be recovered. He said it cannot be negotiable and everyone that joins the club should adapt to it. That post sent shockwaves through English football. Salah was not just expressing frustration. He was writing a job description for the next Liverpool manager. And within weeks, Slot was gone. Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk if you have not already. We are just getting started and this story goes much deeper. So who exactly is Andoni Iraola and why did Liverpool choose him specifically? This was not a panic appointment. Liverpool had been watching this man for years. Reports confirmed that Liverpool had previously assessed Iraola as a potential long-term replacement for Jurgen Klopp 4 years ago when he was managing a mid-table Spanish club. That is not a coincidence. That is a plan that has been in motion for a long time. At Bournemouth, Iraola built something remarkable. He improved the club every single season. 12th place, 9th place, 6th place and European football for the first time in the club's history. And then, in January, he lost his top scorer Evanilson to Manchester City. Most managers would have seen that as the beginning of the end. Instead, Bournemouth went on a 19-game unbeaten run to finish the season. 19 games unbeaten after losing your best striker in January. That is not luck. That is a manager who has complete command of his system and complete trust from his players. Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes had worked with Iraola at Bournemouth, and the understanding between them was already there. When Liverpool came calling, there was no shortlist, no deliberation, no other candidates. Iraola was the only person interviewed for the job. It was always him. And here is the part that matters most for the Salah conversation. In his first interview as Liverpool manager, Iraola said that there are things that obviously need to change, but that he would not want to lose the club's identity. The intensity, the aggressiveness, the organization. He said these are fundamentals that match quite well with what Liverpool have been for many years. The intensity, the aggressiveness, the identity. Those are Salah's exact words reflected back from a new manager who had not even spoken to him yet. Salah demanded heavy metal attacking football. Iraola showed up and described his entire coaching philosophy using almost the exact same language. That is why this story will not go away. Now let me ask you something. Iraola's style is built on high pressing, aggression, and forwards who drive at defenders and force things to happen. Salah at his very best is exactly that kind of player. Do you think that combination could work? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because here is where it gets complicated. Salah is officially gone. Liverpool included him on their retained list as a departure. The club confirmed his 9-year stay at Anfield had ended. In those 9 years, he scored 255 goals in 465 appearances, making him the club's third highest all-time scorer. He won 2 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the Club World Cup, the FA Cup, 2 League Cups, and more. That is a legacy that cannot be replicated. And yet the door is not fully closed. Not yet. When asked about his future, Salah said he will still figure out where to go next. He said he is going to the World Cup, and then everything will be clear. He said if there is a good opportunity before it, he will decide, and if not, he will make his decision after the tournament. He has not shut the door. And Iraola has not locked it either. Iraola broke his silence and made clear he wants Salah to remain at Anfield. The philosophy matches. The mutual respect is there. And the question is whether the club and the player can find a way back to each other now that the man who came between them is gone. Salah's agent Rami Abbas has been firm about the noise, warning fans not to believe circulating reports and confirming that Salah's next destination remains completely undecided. Liverpool's greatest ever player in the modern era is sitting at the World Cup with Egypt weighing up his future, and the new manager is hoping the answer brings him back to Anfield. Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk and share this video right now because we are about to get into the replacements and what Liverpool's rebuild actually looks like. Because here is the cold reality Iraola is also navigating. Liverpool have already committed to finding a replacement for Salah. The rebuild is happening with or without him. The first name linked is Yen Diamant. Liverpool are reportedly keen on signing the RB Leipzig winger, and the plan is to approach his agents before making a formal offer to the German club. He is the immediate solution being chased to fill that right-wing position. The longer-term solution is even more exciting. Iraola is said to be a huge fan of Brazilian winger Ryan, who he signed for Bournemouth from Vasco da Gama in January 2026 for around £30 million. The 19-year-old was one of the signings of the entire Premier League season. He performed so well that he earned a place in Brazil's World Cup squad under Carlo Ancelotti, a teenager at the World Cup after just months in England. That is the level of talent Liverpool are targeting for the future. But Ryan has a release clause of £130 million. That is not a summer signing. That is a long-term investment that Liverpool are planning for carefully. As for Salah himself, his name has been linked to the Saudi Pro League, to clubs in Italy and France, and reports in British media suggest a move to MLS and Inter Miami alongside Lionel Messi is currently the most attractive option being discussed. But nothing is decided. His agent has made that very clear. So where does that leave Liverpool and Iraola heading into what could be the most important summer in years? Slot is gone. Salah is officially out. But the new manager plays exactly the football Salah spent an entire season begging for. The relationship that destroyed the previous era is no longer there. And Salah himself has not closed the door, choosing instead to wait and see what the World Cup brings before making his final decision. There is one version of this where Salah comes back, where Iraola gives him the structure and the intensity and the identity he craved under Slot. where an old partnership gets a second chance under completely different circumstances, where Salah climbs from third to second on Liverpool's all-time scoring list and finishes his career as the greatest to ever do it at Anfield. And there is another version, one where the World Cup ends, the offers from Saudi Arabia or America become too good to ignore, and Salah walks away for good, where Liverpool move forward with Diamand and Ryan and a new generation of players building something fresh under a manager who has already proven he can create something from almost nothing. Liverpool's direction is set. The man is in place. The philosophy is exactly what the fan base and the greatest player they have had in a generation both asked for. Whether Salah is part of that picture or not, Anfield is changing. And the Iraola era is only just beginning. The door is not locked. And Iraola's decision, whatever it ultimately looks like, has already told us everything we need to know about the kind of football Liverpool are about to play. The question is whether the man who was born to play that football comes back to play it. That is the full breakdown. Slot is gone. Iraola is in. Salah is undecided. And this is the most fascinating summer Liverpool have had in years. What is your prediction? Does Salah come back to Anfield, or is the chapter truly closed? Drop everything in the comments. I read every single one. This has been Robert's Football Talk. Hit that like button, share this video with every football fan you know, and subscribe if you are not already here. New videos every week, and Liverpool's story is only going to get bigger. I will see you in the next one.